Like my eyes are going to be stuck like that if y'all keep asking me questions like this. But he is not Aaron Rodgers. Can we stop there, right? Like we're not at that point. What he is, though, is incredible to watch. And what he is very talented. And what he was last night was able to get it done after. I mean, look at that, my God. Like to get it done after a slow start. Like if there's anything I can say about him, though, at least up to this point, he ain't having to throw nobody open. Like look at the dudes that he's hitting with these passes. That was left-handed, by the way. But they're open. It's not his fault, but we're not at the point where he's the best in the game. But that is the best offense in the league, and he's the quarterback of it, and that's good enough.
He is the most fun guy to watch in the league right now, and he is adding to his legend. He was scrambling outside of the pocket to the extent that he apparently threw for 192 yards outside of the pocket, which is more than anybody has thrown for in the last decade. Apparently, one of the cornerbacks who was trying to defend him had to get IVs twice during this game because that is the kind of performance he was putting on. And there is that just a kid out there-ness left-handed push pass, which, you know, makes him some sort of Paul Bunyan to many people who are looking for a Paul Bunyan.
Yeah, the only thing about this, though, and I don't want to, like, bring the umbrellas out at the parade before the rain comes, but coming out of college, we were expecting this to be a high-low kind of experience, that he was able to do incredible things,
out of Texas Tech.
and then he was going to do maddening things. What's been interesting is we really haven't seen the maddening things. There were a couple of plays, though, in that game where he seemed like he was trying to throw the ball to the other team. But there is going to be some leveling off of this. We need to be fair in the way that we consider him once that happens. Because like the first half of this game, we saw a team that was playing against him that had some film and had caught up on some things.
Right, and this, to his credit, was a bad first half and a great second half, and it was on the road against a really good defense. It was a comeback win, all that stuff. But just give me, for the viewers' edification, who are the guys who are definitely better than Mahomes right now? Because you got Rodgers, and I agree with Rodgers.
Brady, Drew Brees. Like I think we can definitely go with those three. Not that you asked me to do this off of the top of my head on television.
Yes, but I do that because Pat Mahomes is like a top 5 guy right now.
What he is a dude with a really big arm throwing to dudes who are running around wide open, right?
Yeah, Andy Reid did a real good job.
So Matt Ryan was in one of these offenses a couple of years ago where he was hitting dudes that were running wide open. Matt Ryan is not the best quarterback in the league and not in that same space. You would ask that same question about him 2 years ago. So, easy. Next name is the Broncos. Broncos' own responsibility for blowing last night's fourth quarter lead, but some have made the case it was on the refs for missing it when the play clock appeared to hit 0 on a crucial Chiefs 3rd and 7 with just 2 minutes left in the game. Let's get a look at that.
Now this is a big 3rd down. You going to play coverage now or you bringing heat?
Oh, we got you. We set you up.
Ooh. And, okay. Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. Because the rule says that the ref's supposed to look at the clock, then look at the ball, and then go from there. And that didn't happen. Yeah. Linebacker Brandon Marshall says referee Craig Rosette admitted that, quote, the ref that was supposed to be watching the clock just missed it. Pablo, Broncos have a legit case that the refs cost them a win last night.
I mean, they have a case that the ref messed up tremendously, as we can see, but if a case is going to be strong, it has to have an audience that sees it as such. And every time we get to one of these referee controversies, Bo, I think about the Tuck rule. And I think to myself, does anybody think that Tom Brady, right, is any different because he benefited from that rule? I just don't think the fans truly care about this in any sort of long-term way.
I'm sorry, you must not have had money on the game. I assure you that there is somebody who cared about this. That isn't, now, whether the fans care has nothing to do with the question as to whether or not the ref cost them the game. Right?
Okay.
Right. That's a different discussion, and that was a fairly egregious call as it went. But they gave up a 2nd and 30. Like, they had a play that was 2nd and 30 and gave up a first down on that drive.
All true.
It becomes difficult to go look at the ref under those circumstances. But I bet that ref is going to get a terse letter from somebody about his error.
But the reason I bring up the fans is because the letter needs to have some public weight behind it for it to matter. And you are right. There was another pass in that game, by the way, that was that missed long throw down the right sideline, right, where the Broncos could have won the game, but throw went a little bit too far. They had a chance to win this in spite of that play. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to get much public sympathy from anywhere on this stuff.
Nah, I think there are some people. Now, the question is, what public are you talking about? Like, they might not be getting sympathy in Seattle for it. I bet they're getting some in Denver.
Yeah, but if the people, you know, also on the other end...
I want you to read the question
If the people on the other end don't care about it, like, it's not going to be a controversy. The NFL doesn't mind these controversies, is my point. Next name, Le'Veon Bell. You may be familiar with him. Bell will return to the Steelers in Week 7 during their bye week. Bell also told ESPN he wants to retire as a Steeler and expects his contract to be renegotiated in the offseason. Bo, do you expect to see this broken relationship become healed?
I mean, it depends on what kind of healing we're talking about. They're going to get through the rest of this season, right? Although, finesse God. This dude says he's
the
going to
bye week is
yes, he's going to come back during the bye week, and you have to understand, NFL players don't get 16 checks. They get 17 checks because they get paid during the bye week. Like, he's like, I'm going to get the check that doesn't come with the carry. But no, I don't think they're going to re-sign him, because if they were going to re-sign him, he would be re-signed as it is. The detail that I think is being buried here is he says that the Steelers are saying that after the season, they are going to apply the transition tag to him. And they are going to try to apply it at a value of $11 million because of the weeks that he will have missed, at which point the Steelers can receive compensation from anybody that signs him. They are willing to go back through this again, is the way I take that as being.
I would imagine that Le'Veon Bell is counting on what happened to Earl Thomas, changing the minds of those offensive linemen who were celebrating James Conner in his absence. And I don't know if that's going to get very far with those offensive linemen. I don't think that it's really a matter of rationality that's at stake here. I think both sides in this argument understand the other position. It's simply that one guy is looking out for himself. And by the way, Le'Veon Bell talks about this, reading some of his quotes, you know, that he's doing this for other players, and maybe, but it's mostly about himself. And that's fine. It's just also why he's not going to be welcomed back.
Well, hold on. You say one guy is looking out for himself. No, the other people are looking out for themselves,
yes,
too. Like, there's no separation. And hold on, no. He's going to be welcomed back this year. Like, he will be welcomed back to do what he can do for them now. But for the long run, no. Now, what I think we've learned in this that is as interesting as anything else is the way the Steelers do contracts. And the Steelers don't guarantee very much money. And it is pretty amazing that they have been able to get away with this for this long. Because Bell says they only offered him $17 million guaranteed, which is just the franchise tag plus $3 million. He was absolutely right for saying, I'm not going to do this. I hope that point gets through in all of this.
The other thing that Bell said that I thought was funny was he was talking about how, I don't know if people are going to trade for me because who's going to trade for a guy who may not re-sign with the team in the offseason? And I was like, oh, that sounds like an NBA player, Le'Veon Bell. Well played.
Next name's Yasiel Puig. Dodgers won their 6th straight NL West title after taking yesterday's division tiebreaker from the Rockies. And Yasiel Puig was in the mood to celebrate. Let's watch.
Hey, Atlanta, I see you soon, baby. And the next one, Chicago, Colorado, no matter who's going, we're going to beat it. And we're going to the World Series again. And this time, we're going to win the World Series. 2018, the big party is here in Los Angeles.
I think he said it all, guys. No questions. No preguntas.
Hey, you know what? Toes down, baby. No question for him. I winning.
Oh, man, he's got his shirt off. He's got the gold chain flowing. And now he's drinking beer.
Why is he so fascinated by the gold chain? No shirt, gold chain? What are you talking about?
Why is he holding 2 microphones? I have various questions about what is happening here.
Puig he does have.
He does. You know what? And by the way, I would put a third one in front of Yasiel Puig's face, because this is why I appreciate when a translator is not always present, is because you do get the unvarnished Puig.
Well, hold on. I think
No.
You get the unvarnished Puig without the translator. You just can't understand what he's saying. Or at least I can't understand what he's saying in their presence. Like, that's the real unvarnished one. What is interesting here is Puig went from being beloved when he first got there to being despised shortly thereafter. And now he's kind of figured some things out. He's playing a little bit better. And now we can all enjoy Puig again, even though he's not nearly as good a baseball player as we thought he would have been.
I just want to point out that apparently you can bring marijuana out of LAX, but you know what? You can't do in baseball. You can't do that, even though, guess what? You can throw alcohol on a reporter's head. That's apparently still cool.
Wow. This was one reaching.
That was in LA.
That was a reaching opening segment.
This was in LA.
Well, hello there. High Noon is brought to you by the Beef Lovers Banquet at Golden Corral with new bacon wraps, sirloin fillets, and more.
Golden Corral's Beef Lovers Banquet. With our all-new bacon wrapped sirloin filet, smoked beef brisket, portobello top sirloin, and golden delicious shrimp. The Beef Lovers Banquet. Golden Corral, your choice. Rules